Hey guys, the Chicken is here, back to another home gym video. In today's video, guys, we're talking all about racks. So what I want to talk about today was why different types of racks are better for different types of people and what you should look for when buying a squat rack. Because the answer kind of with any sort of equipment is it really depends. Like, it depends on you, it depends on your style of training, and obviously your size and footprint and everything that you, and budget and everything that you have to work with. So now, let's start off with lower end cost, and then we'll go to the higher end cost at the end. So at the lower end, we have squat racks, half racks, and just kind of smaller racks. So basically what it comes down to is the smaller the rack, the less functionality and the less versatility you're going to get out of it. But this could be fine for most people depending on what you're doing. I mean, if you're doing Olympic lifting, typically that's always done out of squat stands. If you're doing CrossFit style stuff that's less focused on powerlifting, where you may not, have a benefit, as much of a benefit to using a full cage, a squat stand might be a cheaper option. And in terms of size, space, and cost, it's going to be at the lower end of all of those. So, I mean, if you really have size constraints, a 72-inch squat stand might be the perfect choice for you. And there's actually there's quite a lot of things you can do with just a squat stand, and you can modify it and kind of build off it. This rack that I have here is actually started out as the Rogue SML 1, just as a squat stand. And then as I, got other stuff and, really found out that the home gym was going to work for me, I started to build off of it, and here we go. So now I have a fully functional half rack with plate storage and a pull-up bar. Obviously, I can't do pull-ups because the ceiling height's too low, but you can do other things with that cross member. And I mean, if you balance it out right on a squat stand, you can totally throw a dip bar on. You can do face pulls off it. You can throw a band around it and do a million other things. So don't think that just because you're getting a squat stand that you're really missing out on all the other stuff. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do as many things as you would out of a power rack, but you're not super limited either. Over time, I think the best way to do it is kind of to start out small. And then as you, find out what you like doing, or if there's something that you're really missing out on, kind of build it off of that. So next we have half racks, which is pretty well my setup, as you can see behind me here. So half racks are a nice in between, especially in terms of cost. A full rack, depending where you go, does tend to get pretty pricey. And a half rack is it's a good in between option. Maybe you want to do a little bit more stuff that you can't do on a squat rack. Maybe you just want something that's a little bit more solid and not as shaky, or something that you want to be able to use plate. The biggest thing for me was having that plate storage option. As you can see here, I was able to get storage pegs on the side, and that's not going to work if you're benching out of it, because just for mine, there's about 17 inches between the posts. Some of them are bigger, but I mean, obviously you could pull a bench up to the front of it. You're just not going to be able to bench inside of it, obviously. So so a half rack is a nice kind of in between option. It gives you I think the most important thing about a rack is just being able to use it for plate storage. It's just a nice thing to have. But other than that, it really solidifies the rack. So when you're unracking stuff and you're re-racking it, it doesn't kind of shake all over the place. Or if you have to dump the bar and catch it on the safeties, it's not going to fly over. Squat stand, it might fall over on you if you really drop it on the end of the safeties, because there's not as much weight on the back of it. So a half rack, nice in between option. Now the full rack is going to be for the people that have more space, more budget, and they want to get more accessories. So the full rack is really endless. I mean, you can essentially make an entire gym if you fully deck out like a 6-post rack. You can get lat pull down attachments. You can get basically anything and everything. You're not going to have any limits with a full rack. That's the difference. But obviously it comes with that higher cost. It's going to take up a lot more space, and you're going to have less money left over if that is an issue for you, for say standalone machines, other things that you want to do. That's another nice thing that I like about the half rack, is it really doesn't take up, considering it's the main kind of focal point of the gym, it really doesn't take up that much space. So it's nice to be able to have this to do all the stuff I want to do out of it, and then throw out the other machines that are just either fun to use or just something that you miss from a commercial gym, and having a little bit more budget left over from not going all out on the full rack. I think that does make some sense. Now, you could make the argument with the full rack. Obviously I'm a little bit biased because, you know, but you could make the argument with the full rack. You can put more stuff on it, so that's going to save you more space, be more efficient, and leave you more room for other stuff. You know, so there's no right answer. The answer is it depends. It depends on your training. It depends on your budget. It depends on your space. But hopefully that helps you guys out in selecting your rack. And let me know down below in the comments. What rack you have, or squat stand, or whatever, what you have and why it works for you. Interested to hear back on that one. So if you guys want to see more home gym related content, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative, and we'll catch you next one, guys. Check it out.